Hello again, I'm back with some new particle stuff, and let's start by taking a look at some new particle instance modifier stuff. So let's first duplicate the default cube and scale it a bit. Then let's add just some basic hair. It could also be normal particles, but the hair updates quite nicely for this example. Let's put the amount to something quite low. Okay, then let's add the particle instance modifier to the duplicated cube and set it to use the mesh with the particle hair. So, as we can see, there are now many instances of the original cube, and like always there has been the option to use the path for the instances, but now we also have an option to set the position on the path which is used, and also to randomize it. And I think if the modifier values become animatable, then this will give us quite some nice options also. And then there's the option to keep the shape, which doesn't deform but only positions the instances along the path. And of course that can also be randomized. Okay, nothing more about that. Then there are some new options for drawing the hair paths in the rendering options in the timing section. So before we could set the maximum length and, for example, grow hairs based on that. Now I've removed those options, and now there are options to set the end time that the paths are drawn to, or you can also change the starting time. And of course these are animatable, so you can grow hair or set the random length. And now you can see that before setting the random length for parent particles wasn't possible, but now it works too. And there's also an option for absolute timing, where the times are in frames. It doesn't do very much for hair particles, since all hair particles are born on frame 0 and they die on frame 100. Now we get to the nice part that if we set the particle system type to normal particles and bake the simulation, then we can also use the same options and visualize the particle paths using the path visualization, and also grow the particle paths. But now we actually see a difference to the hair particles when we set the absolute path timing, because the particles are born at different times. You see that the paths also start growing at different times, and by animating these values you can achieve some quite nice effects. And you can also of course set the random time, and the absolute path timing only uses the whole particle lifetime, and it doesn't take into account the different times the particles are born. Okay, next let's free bake. and then look at some new options in the halo visualization. And here we have, let's just simulate some of the particles forwards. We have a new option, trail count. I'm not sure yet of the naming, but it will do for now. So what we can do is create instances of the particles along the path, or actually backwards from the current position, and they follow along nicely. Let's set some gravity so we can see the effect better. They all go quite nicely, and we can set the how many particles are in the trail, how long the trail is, and we can randomize that. And we can also set this length is relative to the particle lifetime, but we can also set it in frames to whatever we like. So even though the particles are now, I think, 50 frames, yeah, they are alive for 50 frames, then we can have the trails go on and on and on and on and on for however long we like. And this also works for the line visualizations, so there are quite some nice things possible now that really weren't before. But one really nice thing is if we activate children for the particles with the trails showing, and then change some settings. Let's put the particle count to something below so we can see the effect better. But okay, so now we can play with all the child settings, all the child modifiers like clumping, let's see, yeah, or even curling, which gives some really quite nice effects that really weren't possible before. Yeah, that's about it for this time. These are all committed, so please go out and test the new stuff and give me comments and ideas on how to improve, as always. And thanks for watching.